Developing right now, a happy ending to the search for a missing boater, how long he was in the water, and how the Coast Guard found him.
We've got some fantastic news tonight as the U.S. Coast Guard has found a 51-year-old man near Crystal River. He'd been missing since yesterday, and they found him alive. Pretty amazing. They spotted him just a few hours ago in the water several miles offshore near Crystal River. Fox 13's Stef DiPietrantonio is at the Coast Guard station with the story. Steph.
This was one of those moments when, after hours of searching, they got up in the air around 6 this morning, then around 1 this afternoon, a quick glimpse out the window, they struck gold. Check it out. The drop master, Keith Newell, who's at the rear of those huge C-130 cargo planes, ready to drop supplies and life rafts, you name it, just happened to see Efstadios Memoris in blue shorts floating there. Search crews had found his 16-foot boat 9 miles west of the boat ramp there in Crystal River, but no sign of him. FWC crews and a shallow water boat crew from Coast Guard Station Yankeetown, plus a helicopter crew and a C-130 crew from right here at Air Station Clearwater searched for him.
Actually, I didn't see the guy waving at all. I wasn't even sure because he was about a mile away from the other scallop boats. I didn't know if there was a boat that flew underneath on the other side of the plane.
Did he look conscious?
He did. He just looked like he was kind of hanging out in the water.
I think what's amazing is that's 6.5 hours that we were in the air before we found that individual, and we're flying at 500 feet looking for a needle in a haystack, and the devotion and duty of that drop master to find that individual is that's what the Coast Guard's all about.
All right, so that C-130 made the connection, but actually a good Samaritan in the water actually plucked Memoris from the water. The Coast Guard helicopter, though, in that emergency situation, went on to another call. Apparently, a man on a boat nearby was having a heart attack. They were able to transport him to TGH just in time. We don't know his condition yet, but we do know that he made it to the hospital alive. Now, coming up a little bit later, we're going to take you inside one of those C-130s and the helicopters and show you how the Coast Guard leaps into action. Back to you guys.
Forward to that. Thank you, Steph.
What happens in a real search and rescue with the U.S. Coast Guard, I'm going to show you coming up after the break.
This is video from the Coast Guard when they found a missing boater in Crystal River. Nasty weather had knocked him out of his 16-foot boat yesterday. How he stayed alive is a miracle, and Steph is with a crew at the air station in Clearwater to show us how they do helicopter search and rescues.
So this is exactly the kind of helicopter that was used during the rescue of that man today. The Coast Guard out in the air for hours, and we're going to walk you through some of the steps inside the cabin and show you how they get the job done every time they go out. So you're up here navigating. For example, the case of the gentleman found today. You guys are flying. You've got a lot to do inside this cockpit, right? And still try to look out your window.
That's correct. Yeah, so we say aviate, navigate, and communicate. So looking outside is definitely our number one to make sure that we're safe of obstacles, other aircraft, towers, things like that. And then navigate, of course, we're required to go somewhere. So we'll use charts. We do have some aids to help us along the way, GPS and things like that. To navigate and communicate, we have different radios that we can talk on.
James will send down a cage like this, and you've got to try to work them into it and still get them back up, and then you jump on as well?
Yeah, we do training on this every few months, so we got the technique down pretty good. But usually we'll secure him in the device. He'll lower down the hoist hook up there, and we have the bails of the hook right here. We hook that into the hook, and they're up to the helo. Usually we only use this device if they have a spinal injury of some sort. If they don't have any major injuries, usually we just use the rescue basket. That just takes a few seconds.
What do you have to do if you get the signal from down below?
Basically, I would pull this out of the corner. It's usually tucked back in the corner of the helicopter behind the co-pilot. I'd pull it out, pull out all the extra gear, and set it up as you see it here, and make sure everything's stowed and straps are good to go. Your role on the craft, though, you're the engineer, right? You're the guy that makes sure everything stays running no matter what. Correct. Yep. I'm the flight mechanic.
So this is the MH-60 Tango. This is the exact same kind of helicopter that was used in the rescue of that man today. And you know, it takes about $14,000 just to put this thing in the air for an hour with a 4-man crew or a 4-person crew. We're going to take you inside the cockpit, start there, and show you how they get the job done every time.
The C-130 is often an unsung aircraft by the U.S. Coast Guard. They are a huge part of search and rescue operations, though. Anybody in the Bay Area certainly knows that. We feel like they're part of our family, like the one today where the C-130 was spotted stranded That boater that was near Crystal River today, they found him. Today, Steph continues our look now with a glance inside this mobile monster that can do nearly anything in the sky.
So this is the U.S. Coast Guard's huge C-130. It could do everything from mobile triage to search and rescue during a hurricane to all sorts of things, and you wouldn't believe what it's equipped to do. We're going to go inside and show you exactly. You ever see this thing flying overhead? Now you're going to get a look inside. Let's go. Really got to watch your head. These are some seriously close quarters up here on the flight deck. So just imagine, to get these guys in place and get this craft in the air, $18,000 for an hour just to make a run that may amount to nothing. Dan D'Angelo, you know, you guys have to scramble because you always have to think each call is legit, right?
Correct. Every call we get could be a different case, different scenario, different geographical location. So come as it goes.
But I know you guys have had reports with either false flares or false radio calls, and all this manpower and equipment's got to get up no matter what.
True. Unfortunately, sometimes we do get false reports in the end run. However, we don't really know that at the time. So each call we do receive, day or night, 24/7, we're always here. We treat it as an actual case, and we go out there for the rescue.
Well, here we are, first-class seating in the back of this huge C-130 Crystal Bastion. She's the drop master. I love that title. What exactly do you do besides you drop stuff out the back, basically, right?
Yes, sir. Upon search and rescue cases, we have the ability to drop out rafts, survival gear, dewatering pumps for boats, keep the people safe. This sea rescue kit has 3 rafts, 2 survival bags, and it spans out to 1,000 feet. And hopefully, dropping inflated, they'll be able to climb in, grab each bag of survival gear, and pull it on board.
So I would imagine how high you are up. Are you tethered to a wall or a pole or anything?
Yes, we have gunner's belts on, and we are tied down to the deck back here.
Okay. So whether they're just pulling in or getting ready to take off, that's how it happens here at the U.S. Coast Guard Station. These big planes can use up to 5,000 gallons of fuel in an hour. Reporting here in Clearwater, Stef DiPietrantonio, Fox 13 News.